Good morning.
Good morning.
And now I'm going to hold it like this. Can you hear me back there in the bag? Yes. Okay. What if I don't use it at all? Can you hear me in the bag? No? Okay. I got to use it a little bit. Hey, it's so good to see you. Look around. If you're, just turn around and look at all of these faces. You know, I feel like I'm standing at the gate of a garden and I'm looking inside at the most beautiful and diverse scenery there is. Do you feel that way? You do? Good. Because there's lots of people that want to look at that garden and just stand outside and look inside. And when they're satisfied, they go away, being satisfied for having experienced the garden. There's some of them, though, that want to walk inside the garden. They want to walk around and they want to smell the fragrance. Spiritual fragrance, okay? And they want to say, I experienced the garden. But then they're fulfilled and they leave. Are you one of those? I know most of you are the kind that says, look at this wonderful diversity. Look how beautiful this is. I've got to get inside that garden. And they go there and they become so enamored with the idea of tending the garden, working the garden, experiencing the garden, that they stay. Are you that person? I hope so, because finding the center is about that. It's about changing those who look within to those who want to go inside, and then hopefully touching the center of those who go inside to find the caretakers. I've been asked to talk about finding the center's history. Well, in the beginning, something happened. Most of you may remember it. There it is. Doug Wilson published a booklet called Slavery, Southern Slavery as It Was. It caused an awful lot of concerns in community. It caused an awful lot of people to think about, whoa, this is Latah County. This is the Palouse. This is an inclusive place. What is this all about? And they begin to think and talk and act and communicate, and lots of things happen right here at the University of Idaho. In this very building that we're meeting in today, downstairs, at the same time of a modernity conference in 2004, the good folks of this community organized a variety of activities. A group met at St. Augustine, and they marched from there to the administrative building, where they participated in a sort of a mini conference with the Southern Poverty Law Center. Other people demonstrated in their own way, saying the things that were in their heart, peacefully saying, we don't like this. One of the things that happened was the creation of a project called Hands for Human Rights. And that lovely lady is my wife, Connie. I don't know if she made it here or not, but if she is, hi, Connie. Truthfully, this is the spark plug that makes this engine run. She started making, in cooperation with volunteers from the Latah County Human Rights Task Force, this monument that spelled out Hands for Human Rights. By the way, as we go through these pictures here, if you see someone you know, just say so. Hey, that's Connie. I know that guy. Come on, I want to hear those things. And there's the monument that was downstairs in this very building, Hands for Human Rights. Lots of people came together to do this. New friends, old friends, new acquaintances. I haven't heard anything yet. Nobody knows who that is? Come on. Say so. Lots and lots of people worked on this project. Over 2,000 hands were traced. Messages of inspiration were written. And they were, yay! And they were affixed to the monument, Hands for Human Rights. In addition to the Hands for Human Rights project, down on the porch right there beside it, was a human rights store. And in that store, people could buy at cost plus 6% for the governor, all kinds of human rights pamphlets, booklets, pins, bumper stickers, variety of things, and they got balloons for free. So, there, Mark Potok of the Southern Poverty Law Center was the speaker at the Admin Auditorium. There he is. He's now the executive director. So, what happened? What do you think happened? You can read all of those things. I'm not going to read them all. A lot of things happened. I like the one at the bottom is that our community got a new cafe. And the city of Moscow got a Human Rights Commission. But the third one from the bottom is the most important one because under the pressure of peer review by other professionals, a book that was actually a booklet that was written here at the University of Idaho by two real professors of history that refuted all of these things in that other one and so many other reasons, Wilson withdrew his book and ceased publishing it. He wrote a new book. You can find it on the internet if you want to read it to find out his argument and his excuses, and that book is called Tan and Black. Easy to remember. Okay, and then FTC was born. So, do people remember Francisco Salinas, who at the time, yay, was the director of multicultural affairs here at the University of Idaho? That's Francisco, and that's a picture of Francisco at one of the conferences. During our conversations at the time of the Hands for Human Rights, Francisco and I were talking about we are reacting to a situation. We should not be put into a position where we have to react to it. Can we do something that's proactive? We said, yeah, we can. We can have our own conference. We began to talk about it. Invitations were sent. Over 30 people came to the first organizing meeting. But these folks that I've listed here are the actual, I went back and looked at the minutes, the actual ones who became the first organizing committee. Francisco, Andy Newkrantz Butler from the University of Idaho. She at the time was the Human Rights Compliance Officer. Joanne Munida, chairperson then and now of Latah County Human Rights Task Force. Connie and I. Linda Paul, at the time a council person with the City of Moscow. Debbie Robinson Smith, executive director of the YWCA of WSU. Karen Sires, administrative assistant, City of Pullman. David Stiller, at the time council person with City of Pullman. And the Right Reverend Professor Toney Sarai Clark, professor emeritus. I got all of it together. Yes. From K House, now called the Interfaith House at WSU. These folks together had the mission of designing goals and objectives and creating a mission for Finding the Center. And there are the goals and objectives: to be proactive right at the top. Focus on students, because they're the future. To bring nationally and internationally renowned speakers here to create the same quality conference that you could have to pay to go to Seattle or San Francisco or somewhere else to attend and to participate in. And to offer generous scholarships to encourage participation by students. But here's where the mission came through, and recognition is due. Finally, who named this conference? Well, you can blame it all on Joanne, because she had the task at the time of chairing the subcommittee to create the mission statement. And she suggested Finding the Center, and here's the mission statement. See where she got that? Those in the back can't read the bottom. I'll read it. The conference mission is to provide participants with tools, best practices, problem-solving strategies for their own issues and communities to find a common, inclusive center, a place inside each human being on which to build a welcoming place of respect for human rights. That's the... So, 2005 conference, very successful. 2006, see the guy up there, Paul Wesselman? He actually came back for 2011. 2007, Power of Transformation. 2008, differences, finally resolving differences, which are the seed of unity. We skipped 2 years because of funding and health issues and people changing jobs and moving different places. Couldn't seem to get it together, but the energy was there, and by golly, it happened again, just this last April, right here, forging alliances and strategies for action. So, what are future plans? We're going to change from spring to fall. We've been having the conference every spring in April, and there's just too much competition going on at that time. Mothers' weekends and sporting events and all kinds of picnic activities and things happening. The Women's Leadership Conference is happening in the fall of this next year, 2012, and it happens every other year. So the planners decided we would plan finding the center for every other year, and we would begin in fall of 2013. So we have to ask ourselves now, what are our successes? Can we count them? Of course we can. There are macro successes and multitudes of mini and micro successes. The macro ones are things like the Moscow School District was the first school district in all of Idaho to become a virtues district, thanks to the help of Dr. Cindy Baczynski. I don't know if Cindy's here today, who at the time was curriculum developer. That's a direct result of the conference. Diversity and sensitivity training at the city of Moscow, cooperation between the police forces in Pullman and Moscow for diversity and inclusiveness. Those are the macro kinds of things we can talk about. But the main successes, dear friends, are right there. Turn around and look at them. Do you see each other? Because you're the success of finding the center. Because I was personally there when I saw a young woman find the courage to come out and express herself to her friends and family for her particular sexual orientation. She found that courage. I saw that. I saw people of my generation embracing people of the younger generation, saying, I would be so proud to have a child like you with that character. Those kinds of things, the personal commitments, the transformations inside ourselves that causes us to embrace humanity as truly flowers in one garden. Different in color, hue, and fragrance. That's cultural. Embracing it as a good thing, growing with it, and realizing that truly the earth is only one giant country and all humankind are its citizens. Whoa, what came bouncing in? It's the newest idea from Finding the Center planners, and that is the Northwest Coalition for Human Rights. And that's what we're here today to talk about. We want to have dialogue. We want to hear your stories. We want to talk about a newsletter. We want to talk about our cooperation. How can that happen? How can we bring more cooperation and progress to our ideals? Thank you, friends, for your time. I went over time. I was supposed to do this quicker than I did. But I hope I got my message across. And I hope I got the message across from the planners of Finding the Center, that we do want to have that dialogue. We do want to have progress. Thank you so very much.